Welcome, guys, and fellow exiles. I hope you will have a nice weekend, and maybe I will make it a little bit nicer, because today I'm gonna show you some very important, I would say very important, or very quality of life tips that I wish I would have known earlier, but during my around about 3,000 hours of Path of Exile, it gets shown, but standby mode on the PlayStation also counts towards this number. So it's not as high because a lot of the times I just go for the standby mode so my PlayStation can update and stuff, and yeah, whatever. You know what I mean. So the first tip I will show you live right now is the spread, the Alva market. So keep in mind you can walk to Alva as you have completed the Act 1 to 3. So as you are in Cruel, you can go to Alva or Finn or whoever, and you can go into this, if you are unlucky, you see the hardcore from last season is blocking half my, or 60% of my Alva, but however, I managed to get along, and so you can literally save tons of money over here, because sometimes things are cheaper. Sometimes things are cheaper if you go directly to the people, and depending on the best price, you can always check out. So over here, for Alva, you always pay gold if you purchase something. For this transaction, you see it's 3,900 gold, but it's usually not as high. It depends on the amount you are buying, you see, and sometimes, and also the, I think, like rarity of the item you buy. So keep that in mind. You might run out of gold, and that's what makes gold actually valuable in this game. So let's show you something for trading. We have here, as an example, the Prism of the Gem Cutter, okay? For this, if I want to buy them now, I get 3 for 2 exalts, so roughly 1 to 1, it's 1.5 to 1. But if I swap around, you see what's the spread. A spread is on the trading market always there. So it means that people are willing to sell for this price, and on the other hand, people are willing to buy for this price. If they meet, you won't see them on the market because they met and they made out. You know what I mean? One bought, one sold, so both are happy and both are for now, they're gone on the market. So, and if people are willing to sell but didn't find a buyer yet, you see their price, and other way around. So on this one, people are willing to sell because I want them and I see the price for the gems for what I want, and it's right now. They are offering 2 for 1 exalted. But if I swap around, you can see I get 5.9, or 5.9 is the highest price right now. So what do I do with that? So I see people are willing to give me exalts if I give them 5.9 prisms. So I can set up an order where I swap around back again. Now I know 5.9 is the course, and now I make like 11 for, I hate it, it swaps around, they patched it some sort, 11 for 2, because I'm offering 5.5, and I'm lower, you see, now my offer is there, now I'm offering my 5.5, so I'm the best bet. And there's always, you have to keep in mind, no single seller can sell to me right now if he wants to just sell 1 prism, so he has to at least give 2 for my to get my exalts, because 5.5 you can cut them in half even if they are called cutters. So, and you see, now I got the best price. Instead of 2, I got 5.5 per exalt, what makes out a really huge difference, as you can imagine. So you have to always be aware. If you want to buy something, swap around and look what's the price. And then ask yourself, okay, there's a huge spread, and the market or the item is like very fluent. So if it's not a really, really, really rare item, you usually don't have to wait a long time. If it's a really, really rare item, let's, I don't know, take as an example, usually it's does Kappa or it's Paka. It has two names. Um, let's take Omen of Whittling as an example. You see, okay, the spread is actually really small, and usually on such items the spread is a little bit higher, but you will wait longer than for an item that's usually more rare, more common. You know what I mean? Because people rarely find it, so people rarely sell it. And like this, you can save a lot of money on the market. So keep that in mind. Always watch out for the spread. If the spread is high and you got some time, take the time and take the spread with you for Alva. And keep in mind, you can really buy lots of things for Alva. I would recommend you watching it through so you can compare some stuff and what's the best price, and it's more direct. Usually on the runes, I think there was a good spread. Yeah, you see what the spread, 140 or 150 to 3.8. So yeah, there you see. And I mean, doesn't mean that someone will take this offer, but might be if they want to make quick money and just empty their space. I would recommend always watching out for the spread, and usually make the offer that's the best. You can see now the best offer would be, as an example, 149. So if I would go for like 149 and for one exalt, I won't do it because it's expensive. You see, one more than 100,000, but you see not 149 to 1, and over here I would be the best bet. So if someone wants to sell it directly, they would probably hit me, or not, because they might want to give more. Who knows? Yeah, but usually they take the best bet automatically. So that's about the first tip. So the second tip is actually more, people would expect it a little bit less. But if you see, here's armor break. And from irreparable, you can, as an example, look on the node. And just keep in mind, depending on the damage type you play, there are some possibilities to increase it even further. Here, you can see it stands. Targets on this one, if you go down, it's in German, but targets with fully broken armor don't profit or benefit from armor and receive even further 20% more physical damage through hits. So if you are like a physical damage type base or player right now, keep in mind, with physical damage, or if you break the armor, you can deal 20% more damage if the target has fully broken armor. So as an example, if you play like a warrior or whatever with physical damage, look at this, get an ancestral warrior totem, don't go for the rolling slam inside, but like armor break, and push it to the limit, the best you can go, like give it +1 to level. It's very effective. +1 to level is very effective for armor breaker because it scales very well with level. Then there is a support from support level 2, Demolisher I think it's called, that makes 50% more armor break. And even if you haven't skilled into armor break, in any case, these two supports with the totem might literally save a lot of, or give you a lot of a good damage boost, like 20%, as I told. It's like shocking enemies, you know. I guess shock was 20% as well, but this is something people rarely consider. So I mean, probably not that important on mapping, but if you go for bossing, these 20% can really be nuts. So keep that in mind. Get your armor breaker, get your fully broken armor, and even if you are dealing the big chunk hits there where armor is not as effective, we all know the formula, and these 20% are still on top of each physical damage that hits. No dots, but dots aren't affected by armor anyway, but hits. So that's about that. And if you want to, as an example, push your damage further as a warrior as well, keep always in mind Avatar of Fire This is very strong because if you play totems, you benefit from elemental damage. If you get the fire resistance and the penetration and stuff, you have another ailment by default. That's ignite. Ignite can be cool, can be good if the hit is big. And you can boost it through very other ways. Usually it's better than physical damage if you can afford it, but depends on your build as well, so keep that in mind. But physical fire damage is really buffable, as an example also with the curses, with where is it, elemental, with flammability as an example. You can push your damage really further, or explosion, fire explosion and stuff when igniting. So keep that in mind. This is one good tip. So my third advice is also like, sticks a little bit on Alva, because there are lots of omens. I sold it just right now for 1 chaos, but I think I made someone happy. What was that? What did I... Oh, you can buy it. Okay. Didn't know that you can buy these over here. Where are they? On fragments? Oh yeah. I think this is new. This is very new, I think. Okay. Let's get to the topic. So, on the omens, very important are omens, because they help you a lot of on crafting. If you look on this, we now have Omen of Corruption as an example, and if I want to craft, as an example, a 4-link to a 5-link, or a 5-link, the probably cheapest way, you should use omens depending on their price. Right now, I wouldn't recommend going from a 4 to a 5-link corruption with a omen, because they are rather expensive, I feel like. But you still can use lots of omens, because they are helping you quite a lot. I mean, it's not only the Omen of Corruption. You can see, go through the omens and look what they are capable of doing. Like an example, Omen of okay, I don't know the English word, of reviving or whatever. Omen of, you just get, if you get low life, you fully recover life, energy, shield, and mana. What's especially for hardcore very important, and they are actually not as expensive, as you can see, just a few exalts. As well, the Omen of Genesung, just look at it, they have the same spot in English, I guess. So you you save 75% of your XP loss when dying, what can be really helpful in late game. Keep that in mind. It's huge. So if you die, you don't lose the huge chunk of XP, you just lose 25% of it. What really helps a lot by crafting maps, as an example, use the Omen of Sinistral Alchemy. That's very handy. It's not expensive at all. I mean, 4 exalts, that's okay. It's affordable. And the next alchemy orb is giving 3 prefix and just 1 suffix. So you are benefiting, or you're crafting a good map that's rarely not killing you as easy, but has a high chance of good modificators. As well, there is here for the regal orbs. So you use a regal orb and it just gets you a prefix, so you can craft your maps really easy with this. And omens are very useful and actually not as expensive, so keep that in mind. Make use of this one, and yes, save yourself with like these 2 omens. Omen of Wiederaufstieg and Genesung. Very good. So, and with omens, we come to the next point, and I will show, or try to show you live, how I craft my +1. You take, with the omens, like, it's actually cheap. I mean, people are selling these +1 to gem level gems for actually high prices. where I'm asking, why? Because
Disengage.
I don't know. You don't need to. You can like craft it yourself, and I will just live show you how I do. You just slam it to a 5-link, then you surely have to activate your omens, and then you get your Valobs as well. And depending on how lucky you are, you get a -1 for the first. But you know, it's always a matter of price. Like the perfect Jeweler's Orb aren't as cheap, so you would be wasting a lot of currency or a lot of chances out if you don't use the Omen of Corruption. You will get, as an example, a 5-link way easier, because we can't get a 5-link, and here we are with the +1. So you see, it took us 1, 2, 3, okay, 8, 10, 12 tries. I mean, the most expensive factor is 12 tries, so we get 17 for 2 divines. And on the market, they are usually around 4 divines upwards. So, and I think for the rest, we didn't pay as much. So, like the gem cutters or the Omen of Corruptions weren't as expensive. So we are actually at this amount of divines. We just had actually 1 divine, a little bit more than 1 divine, because we had 12 tries, but we got it for under 2 divines. You saw it, and this is how you can craft your stuff yourself. And with the Omen of Corruption, you make it more likely, and it goes, as said, it goes the other way around. If you are not having an Omen of Corruption and you want a cheap 5-link, you look how cheap on Alva the Greater Jeweler's Orb are right now. 6. Okay, it's a divine. You get 10 for 1 exalt. So you usually don't need more than 10 tries. And actually, you get, for each try right now, as you can see, to get a 5-link, a cheap 5-link, it's, let's say 20. Let's say 2 exalted. And for 20, you need 20 times 4. 20 times 4, so 80 gem cutter prisons. So let's take the usual market price right now. 80 is 20. So for getting a cheap 5-link right now, you will be like around 20 exalted. I mean, you get them cheaper if you catch a better price. It's right now, you see it, 20 exalted for a 5-link. Tell me how cheap that is. It's very cheap. And yeah, with Omen of Corruption, they cost 8 exalted each. I wouldn't say it's worth right now, because the gem cutters and the Greater Jeweler's Orb are so cheap. It's not worth using the Omen of Corruptions, but you could, and you get it even faster. And depending on which gem, some gems are actually more valuable, but depending on the gem you're using, you can just spam it. And that's it. So you get your cheap 5-links, or your comparably cheap +1 to gem level 5-link. Welcome. So the next advice is as an example for my curse witch, which I totally are playing on mana. Tell me if you're interested in this build. It's very nice. I like it. It's actually very sustainable. I mean, I didn't optimize that much. As you can see, I'm not full fire res capped, as an example, because I kept it cheap, but I have 5,000 mana and nearly 1,300 mana regen per second, and it gets higher because I have 80% of damage taken recouped as mana. So if you're interested in this build, tell me. I might make a guide on this. I play with a lot of curses and also damage with my curses and stuff like this. It's very cool. But what's, as an example, very important on this character, I have 1 HP. And mana, there is no node on the tree where you get stun threshold through mana. So what do? Gladly, there are some unique jewels that are helpful a lot. They called from nothing diamonds. You might have seen them already, but they are really build enabling. As an example, you can get the from nothing to acrobatics. What's huge, I played it on my warrior, where I played with some spear skills, where the charges, oh my gosh, how they called? I forgot the name right now. Where you can, but you know the charges, the green ones. Frenzy, where you can get the frenzy charges, +2, and a lot of crit. And I play on crit with this build, because I got the Tangle Toe, you might have seen it. And this one is really build enabling. But on this build, I choose the from nothing to bulwark. What's also very build enabling, because from here, I can allocate that I can't be stunned. Keep in mind, you can dodge roll again. So you also can't blink, what I really makes me so sad. But I get along because I have actually good movement speed with this char. I don't know why, but she feels a lot faster. I think it's because I don't play armor, and you are faster if you're not playing armor, because armor makes you slow. It's dumb. But keep that in mind. There are huge build enabling from nothings and unique jewels. And like this one is really, it's totally strong, because you can't get stunned. And I show you exactly this one, because whatever build you are making yourself, and you are struggling with getting stunned or something like this, you can always, and even if you are not on the right side of the tree for this node, you can get it if you choose to from nothing to bulwark. And it's just one jewel slot, and then one passive point. And I don't know, maybe, I mean, these stuff is useful as well if you need strength. I mean, you can get it, yeah, or you can get, yeah, here you can get your if you stack strength as an example, but you are not there, you can also get this one where you get huge stun threshold through strength. If you, like an example, play with how they called, heroic tragedy, where your strength gets converted to energy shield, if you are playing like this. But keep that in mind, there are really good combinations, and this one can maybe save your build. So for the next advice, I'm gonna show you, oh gosh, this guy is slow as hell. I'm gonna show you a trick where you can save just a little bit of spirit, if it maybe matters for you. Because you see, blasphemy has 10% reduced reservation. And if you put on, like, with vitality, cannibalism, and other stuff in it, you are going to save spirit, because these 10% reduction from reduced reservation also counts towards the supported skills. So vitality is not 20 spirit in this, it's 18 spirit. Yeah, it's 18 spirit. As well, cannibalism is, I think they rounded down, so it's 14 spirit. So if it matters, and if you just like, you need a view more spirit, depending on your amulet, whatever you got, you know, it can matter. It doesn't have to, but it can. It's just 10%, it can. Keep in mind, put in the lowest level of blasphemy you can afford, smash the quality to 10%, get it into your inventory if you can wear it, and yeah, slam those two in, and pick them out of, as an example, of your scavenge plating. And combined with this, I mean, you might be interested, but you can put, if you play the Gemling, you can put 2 vitalities or 2 cannibalism, what really gets you a huge sustain boost. You can get both of these, because they work. Last patch they didn't, or in 1.0 they didn't work, but now they do. It's just because of yeah, you can yeah, you can use like each support gem a second time. That's it. Yeah, so that's about the 6th advice I can give to you. The next and 7th advice is if you are like in Pinnacle bossing or I don't know, simulacrum like I will show you right now. I don't want to show you like the full thing, but I will just show you so you see the basics and I can prove you I'm not like yapping some stuff. But you can actually, if you die in a simulacrum, you see I'm trash and I obviously wanted to die. Now the simulacrum will be gone, but look how I will cheese it. I can't. Oh no, it's gone. Oh. So I'm just relogging, and I actually just by accident I found that out. But you just relog, you take whatever char you have left, and is obviously able to do simulacrum, but you get up to your character slot's chances to go for the simulacrum or pinnacle boss or whatever. So you actually never use a breach stone anymore or whatever, and it works. So you can just enter the simulacrum, as you can see, the max juice simulacrum with your other char, and yeah, fairly enough, that's it. And then you can keep on, you can move on. I mean, sometimes you get in a bad position, you spawn in a bad position, sometimes you don't, but as you see, it's, yeah, you might never lose a simulacrum or exhash or audience with the king again. So you will have it really convenient by bossing or playing endgame stuff. This also counts for maps when you have other chars. So you literally are always able, or depending on how many chars you have and how strong they are, but you always are able to complete maps and pinnacle boss stuff. So I mean, some pinnacle boss stuff is more expensive than another, but as you can see, it's very nice and you can fully progress it. You can do it until the end. I've already done this, and it really saves you a huge lot of stuff, because you don't fail simulacrum again or whatever if you have the chars to attempt it, or like if you are uncertain with your newer char you might create it. Okay, can I already go simulacrum or tier X sash or whatever? You can try it out, and if you have like a backup char, you can complete it with this one. That's very nice and comes in very handy, and actually takes out a huge risk if you aren't certain if you can pinnacle boss or whatever already, or do this map if it's too juiced or whatever. It's working on maps, it's working on pinnacle bosses, it's working on every content that's going through the map apparat. You know what I mean. Very nice. I don't hope it's I'm uncertain if it's intended or not. Actually, I don't know, but it's available, and I don't think it's like you are killing the game with it, because you are still kept by your characters, and if you don't have enough characters that are good enough for the mode, you actually don't benefit. But if you do, it might save you a lot and is very convenient. Another very important thing for making you tanky as a char is maxing out your resistances. You have to keep in mind, each percent on here is a huge increase in tankiness. It's very viable and very helpful, because you have the fact that the game is balanced right around 25%, right around 75% resistances. Especially in late, you can get through the campaign even easier, but that doesn't affect us right now. So it's balanced around 75%. So you have to look, the whole damage you are balanced around is receiving 25% of elemental damage. For chaos, I would say it's around 15%. But if you can push your maximum resistances further with capping them out, you have to consider these 25%, and the next 1% is not 1%, but it's like in ratio 25% to 1% is like roundabout a little bit less than 5%. So if you get like, let's round it up, each 2% you get of maximum resistances will end up being a 10% damage reduction, because it's just the mathematics, how it's balanced around. You have to think of, if the damage, as an example, if the damage hits you with a 10k base fire damage, but you have 75% resistances, okay? You have 75% resistances. The mathematic is you get 2,500 damage out of it, because it was 10k, but now it's, it's 2.5k. And another 1% will not be like 25% reduced damage. It will be like 1% of this 10,000, what makes up 100. So if you have 1% more maximum resistances, with also kept out for sure, you will receive 100 damage less. So just this 1% will get you 100% less damage. So if you have like 3,000 life, this 100% is really doesn't really matter. And you can see the ratio from 2,200 damage taken, you will now take 2,400 damage, and that's actually way more valuable. So what I want to tell you is, these 1% maximum resistances they sound so wacky at the first, but they are huge valuable at all, especially if you go towards this one. And if you have the points, I would actually take all of this, because as you see, the mathematics behind this is really, really good. So if you take if you have 2%, you don't get 2,500 damage, you will get 2,300 damage. And that actually matters. And there you can see, it's nearly 2% make up 10% damage reduction at all, because this is how mathematics work, and it might save you the life. And you can push it even further. So if you have 10% more, there you go. You will get 1,500 damage instead of 2,500. And that's actually quite a huge difference for 10% maximum resistances. And that's, at least for fire, it's very achievable, because the uncapped means from 0% to X%, whatever you have. If you have if you have 80%, you get another 2%, and for fire and so on. So especially for fire, it's very, very easy to push. And there are also soul cores if you want them. And also for the Gemling, as an example, it's a huge defensive ascendancy that you might take. Yeah, and that's why the Kitava, as an example, is so tanky compared to other classes, because you get maxed out resistances so easy, and as I show you the mathematics, it's really mattering a lot. Let's come to the 9th advice I can give you, and I was too lazy for so many ways in this game to go for it, but it's the weapon swaps. Weapon swaps are really, really strong, because if you take it specifically, they give you actually 24 more passive points for the passive tree, if you are finished with the campaign for sure. But if you want to see it this way, you get 24 more passive points, what's really, really strong, because weapons at 1 can allocate another stuff than weapons set 2. Like here, I'm playing totems. I place totems with my weapons set 2, I think it's, and I play with my weapons set 1. I don't play the totems, so I don't need the totem nodes, because why should I? It's snapshots, so I can take something else. What enables me not going this way, but I can add further for weapons set 1, like some block chance as an example, more tankiness, life recovery rate, more block chance, breaking armor, more armor break, and yeah, this actually is also a very good build enabler. That what makes the Witch Hunter. Actually, I think it makes the Witch Hunter very good if you have like a very cool idea of mixing it up, because you get way more weapon set points. I haven't figured it out yet what I want to play with the Witch Hunter, but it actually can be really huge if you have a good idea for it. But as you can see, I wouldn't have the block chance if I wouldn't go for the weapon set 1 and 2, and with the weapon set 1 I have a shield, with the weapon set 2 I don't, so it's really efficient. And you can do this with an example with Warcries. If you are Warcrying sometimes and you have no idea or what you want to go weapon swap with, you can, just an example, for the Warcries you take the Warcry nodes that are close, and with the other weapons that you don't, if you play something like a witch or some whatever, you can, as an example, go for more area of effect with the one skill, or with the like clearing skill if there is some, and with like more damage over here, area of effect damage, for, as an example, if you are bossing or something like that with another spell and another stuff. Always up to you, keep that in mind. But the weapon swap can really enable builds. Keep that in mind, because it's, effectively it's 24 more passive points that can really, they might really matter on your build. And you probably have heard this already, but I want to encourage you to maybe find your own way of swapping with weapon sets, because it literally, it can make your build so much stronger. And it's actually not inconvenient at all, because you can automatically set up the weapon swaps, or the skills you're using with weapon set 2 and 1, so you don't even have to press any further bottom, because as you can see here, I'm placing my totems, and with one click I'm again using my resonating shield, so it's not making it any more complicated. The 10th tip is for PlayStation players only. And you might think that, or I've read it, that many people are complaining about people not inviting if you request for something. And it might be because your privacy settings on PlayStation Network aren't ideally, let's say, for the game, because if you are playing from PlayStation to PlayStation, you get party invites directly. So you receive the invites through PlayStation. You can make it out on the, if I, as an example, would invite him, you see, in the right corner now, Bump Monkey was invited into your group. So if you don't see this, I'm uncertain, but I think it's directly from PlayStation to PlayStation. If they joined your party, there is a PlayStation sign again. And what is important on this one, some people don't realize they have the settings, they can't be invited or written on by people they are not friends with, so they invite people, or they ask for some items, they get invited, but they don't ever get the invite because of their privacy settings. And I myself, I know this issue, so I write them, I can't invite you, but some people probably just don't know, and some people with these settings then think, why the heck are people rarely inviting me? I mean, it surely is like, depending on if you now face a PC player or whatever player, but keep that in mind. If you want to trade on your PlayStation, turn off the setting. It really saves you a lot of frustration. Probably you get more, I'm always like, oh gosh, this guy again, he doesn't realize he can't get invited. And some people don't know and just don't write. I write, but maybe then you yourself will feel like really frustrated because the items you want to purchase are rarely answering, or the persons behind it. If you want to craft your build, there are some build enabling uniques, and if you want to find them out, because you're a human and you don't know every unique by heart, you can here enter the search names. I recommend if you just Google like unique items PoE2, and there you get a list of unique equipment from game 8. I recommend them. They are very, they are very good for this. You can here
search right now for the Dawn of the Hunt uniques, you can search buzzwords like fire, and here you get a list of all fire of new uniques with the fire tag or with anything like fire in their description. As well, you can select for the type, but this one is only the Dawn of the Hunt unique, keep that in mind. And if you want to go for an overall list of uniques, as an example, we can just show it here. You choose focus, and then you just enter fire, and usually something should appear. What? Okay. I mean, okay, I think, wasn't it a focus? Oh no, I'm stupid. It's a buckler, what I was meaning. Here on shield or bucklers. What? Let me in peace. Over here, as an example, on the bucklers, if you enter the fire tag and the sun splinter, and here you get like, a very nice item that is actually really good. Yeah, just so you know. And the way you can search things easier is, as an example, if you know, okay, let's go for this. You want to search a ring, and there are some specific tags you need, like, I don't know, what is important. Let's take a full tank ring, or you want rarity with it. You want a rarity ring. Let's take this one. And you want like evasion because you want to be tanky, no, not local. Evasion to evasion rating, and maximum life because you wanna just be tanky with this. Then I recommend like 90 is an overall okayish roll, and you will. I mean, it's useful, but you can still get it cheap. Like things over 100 might be expensive, so go for 90 or choose your stat. What you would get along with. I think 90 you usually see 100 plus actually, but I always go a little bit lower than my usually minimum because maybe the other stats are so good I still want to get it. Then evasion rating, let's make, I don't know. And items already found we leave out. So right now you see there's a good amount of rings, and then you can filter of the rarity you want, and you see everyone divines. And here, if you just scroll down, you sometimes just find the cheap version, and it's with life, it's with some evasion, and the rest is okay. But you see what I mean. If you scroll down, you find a good version, but that's not all. Let's now. We find out, okay, there are good rarity rolls, let's fix it at 20. Then what's a very, very important thing is, at stat group, there are some specific some specific things, but I recommend rated some. It's cruel, it's huge, it's very, 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 very huge. And then you go for like fire resistance, then you go for like lightning resistance, then you go for like cold resistance, then you go for like fire resistance implicit, then you go for like cold resistance implicit, then you go lightning resistance implicit, lightning res implicit, as well as chaos resistance and chaos resistance implicit. So with this two, usually, because chaos resistance is way more uncommon, way rarer than the others, I give each one 1, but chaos resistance I give 2. And now we have the weighted sum, and we can search for something, and then we can filter for the sum. And it's a game changer, actually, guys. It's a game changer. And here you see, and if you just scroll down, then it's just filtering for the sum. Sometimes there will appear, look, 18 chaos is already way cheaper than the lots of divines shown over here. But you will see now 10 chaos orbs. Wow, it's getting better, even with plus 13 corrupted intelligence. Not as bad. And you see, we just scroll. It gets cheaper, but it's still very, very valuable. And somewhere there will also appear usually an item for 100 exalts, it's not much. And with rarity evasion and stuff, and 100 exalts is right now, it's actually cheap. So, and if you keep scrolling, 15 exalts and still 64 resistances, that's not bad. I mean, if you have 2 of them, you are nearly with 2 resistances capped. So that's huge. And we use rarity. Rarity is also brilliant. I like it. I hate that the stat is brilliant though, but the stat is brilliant. But I wish it weren't, but it is. And like this, you can filter your whatever you want. And you see, there is so expensive stuff, but you can really get like the best value out of it if you just filter for this and just scroll a little bit down, and then you will find some items that are good. The next step, another way how I search my items is, as an example, if I want, let's take a helmet, because with rings we don't have to look for anything like the stats for tankiness or defenses. Also keep in mind, you want to go for the stat filters, the stats that are mandatory, like if you want to amulet with +3 to whatever level, put it in there and choose at least 3 to level, and you will get it. But the weighted sum is so important. And right now with the helmet as an example, I mean, there are many tricks, but I will give you like a low, like very easy ones for searching that you can directly use yourself. If you go for, as an example, for the helmet, and then you search, and then we want to know, okay, what's a good energy shield roll? Okay, 550 is right now the market's max. So probably this is too expensive for us. It doesn't seem cheap. Okay, let's do something else. What do? Now we know 540 is a good roll. These stats are some way, I don't know. They don't, I'm uncertain how they fit, but they are way lower. As an example, if you enter 400 over here, you will find items with 300. You see 363 energy shield, but still a good roll. And now we are at 1 exalted orb. But we also still have our resistances in there. So what are we doing? We now know, okay, the resistances or the energy shield roll is good, like above 400. So now we just made out what is a good energy shield roll, and we filter out everything that's worth. Let's go 450, because it's even better to show you that you can literally get a cheap thing with like the best in slot you can afford. And now we just do the same. We scroll down, we filter, we go for the sum, because we want resistances on our helmet. I mean, if you want something else, you can surely add it to the weighted sum, like if it's rarity or if it's intelligence whatsoever. And you have to like give it a sum yourself. I would, if you put in intelligence, I would give it not more value than like 1. And then we scroll down, and somewhere there, I'm certain we will find a basically viable helmet for just a few divines or chaos orbs or whatsoever. But you see, with this, with the weighted sum, and if you have like the other stats entered that you want to have, I mean, you could also go for life in there or whatever stat you need, and then you just scroll down, and you honestly will find the equipment with the best stats for you that you want to have. And if you like, now we have to scroll so just too much, and I'm rid of it. Go to the top again, enter in the trade filters, divine orb, and here you enter the divine orb, and then you go like, let's go for a maximum of 5. And now we go for the sum, and now you see totally in your budget there's 5. And you see, I mean, helmets are actually expensive, and you can compare these. Okay, they are corrupted, but oh nice, this one has 2 sockets and this one has a bad corruption, but this one is like a 4 divines and this one is like 5. And I would say myself, as an example, the 4 divine helmet is way better than the 5. I mean, it has max life. It's usually better for energy shield than accuracy rating, depending on your build, but mages usually tend to not benefit from accuracy rating. I mean, not as much from maximum life though as well, because many play chaos inoculation, but you get the point. And So you can search in your value, in your range, and actually get the best item out of the currency you can afford to spend. I mean, let's go lower. Let's go 350, and then we go for like exalted orbs. You can surely enter exalted orb. I would not cap the exalted orbs and then in there. And now you see, we get for 15 exalteds. We might have 100 less energy shield, but I mean, it still looks like a good item to me. We have a actually decent energy shield roll. We have, I mean, good resistances, chaos resistance, and nearly, like, the resistances are nuts. 73% resistances, even max mana, and 8% chaos. Could be way worse, could be way worse. And this is for just 15 exalted. And there you see, I mean, depending on what you want to buy or what you need, you always can lower your needs, and you will find good items. Let's do with this. Maybe we find a good item with this. And okay, you see way less resistances, but 100 more energy shield, and it's not corrupted. So it depends on what your needs are. Lower your standards a little bit, and you might find items that are very, very good. Like, I mean, actually, this helmet, 15 exalted right now, is no currency at all, and you get a really, really decent helmet. So, yeah, that's about the market. Keep in mind, use the add stat filter, the weighted sum. You can add anything over there. If you want to have rarity on it, or if you want to get rarity as well on this list, you can get like rarity 1 and then put rarity maybe in there, and then you just will get rarity items. And yeah, now you have a rarity helmet as well. Actually, that's also a very good one. More expensive though, but 100 exalted is still a quarter divine orb and still strong. So energy shield roll is decent, not the best, but it's okay. And yeah, this is how you do it. And then if you want to get cheaper, scroll down a little bit and compare and get your best value. You have to decide yourself what's the best value, but with this tool or this technique, you can actually, or I'm searching my items for just usually a few exalteds, because I make so many characters. I don't like to go expensive, and I save so much currency with this behavior. So I hope it helps yourself. Find your way. It's all a matter of adjusting the numbers at the end, and it probably will help you a lot. So thanks for watching. I hope I could help out, and yeah, have a great weekend. Enjoy the time, enjoy the good weather. Thank you. Bye.